Hi, I'm Jamie Slaughterbeck. I am a volunteer in the kids ministry. They are the most fun little people to watch. They'll get up on stage and throw their hands up and just worship God. And it's the coolest thing to watch because that's how we should all be. And there are many Sundays that I have to fight back tears because it's just so cute and so cool and so real. When there were pastor transitions a few years ago, I was asked to help out more with the kids. And truthfully, at first, I was like, I don't want to. I want to come to church and sit with my family, and I don't want to have to do a ton extra. I just knew I had to. I guess it was God pushing me, but I just knew I had to. And I think it's this overwhelming feeling of, what if they don't have their mom and dad telling them? What if they don't have someone teaching them about Jesus? If they walk their little selves here, I'm going to tell them. And I just felt a big responsibility to tell them. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I went through cancer 13 years ago. And that was a really hard but beautiful time. So I was in the process of trying to find out if I had cancer or not. I had a biopsy done. So I was in a little bathroom at my work and waiting for that call from the doctor. I knew it was going to be that day that I would get the call with the results. And I was a mess. I was crying, I was sick, I was just all over the place and just needed to know. Was it cancer, wasn't it? Just needed to know. And as clear as I've ever heard anyone, I hear, it's cancer, you're going to be fine. And it was like taking a warm blanket out of the dryer and just felt this peace that it was just so real. And I was so grateful to have that. And so from that moment on, I was just like, okay, here we go, who cares? And the doctor finally called, and guess what? The results were inconclusive. So there was more waiting, and we had to wait to get the surgery to find out if it was cancer or not. But I already knew. I told my husband, be prepared, it's cancer, it's fine. Well, I go through the surgery and I wake up to my husband just a mess and sad, and I'm like, why are you sad? I told you. And so it's just kind of this funny thing now, but looking back, you know, I feel bad for him. But in that time, not only did I get to hear God speak, never in my life will I forget that. That was amazing. But we lived paycheck to paycheck, and whatever's worse than paycheck to paycheck, like we were there, like had to send a check out for a bill and hope that the mail lady got ran over, and it would be a little bit slower to get the bill there, but it's just how it was, and things were tough. And so we were worried about how we were going to pay for not only medical bills, but being off for the time of the surgery and the treatment and all of that. So prior to the surgery, I was sitting in my work and just going about my business, and this wonderful woman walks in. It was Wendy Snyder's mom, and she walks in and she hands me a card and she says, here. And I said, what are you doing? And she's like, God told me to give this to you. And I just looked at her and I asked, why would you do this? And she's like, God told me. So she just randomly gives us money, hallelujah. And then a couple of days later in the mail, I get a card from Dixie Snyder with more money, and we just got money. And again, because God told me to. And so I learned these anchors in my soul that when you hear God speak and tell you to do something, you go do it. If you've ever felt like maybe God's telling you, hey, you should go help, or hey, you should go volunteer, do not ignore that. It's not, what's the worst that can happen? You'll maybe not like it. Okay, we'll try something else. If you feel that quiet whisper, it's probably God telling you to do it. He most of the time does not scream at us. It's usually just a gentle nudge, and I've learned to always listen to the gentle nudges.